Hey y'all, welcome back to A Dinosaur in the Library. I'm Dawn, and this is Vlogmas Day 11. I'm honestly shocked myself that I've actually put one up every day. And the lighting is really weird because I have my laptop open down here because I need it to, well, you'll see, but it's making my face look all weird. I'll try to, there we go. It's a little better. It was looking a little creepy. Okay, so today I'm going to do a video that I've been meaning to do pretty much since I started my channel and just have not gotten around to it. And that is self-published wonders. So a lot of people avoid self-published books because they think that they're not as good as books that have been published by large houses or distributed by, major outlets or something. But honestly, from what my own personal experience, it's just as easy to find a book that you think is crappy buying it at Books A Million or something like that as it is to find one that you don't like that's self-published. So I'm going to give you, let's see, 4 books, 1 series, and 1 zine that are absolutely awesome self-published things. Although zines are arguably a separate sort of category, but we're including them here because I want to, and it's my channel, so I do what I want. That will give you no fail, always awesome self-published reads. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to talk about I have mentioned before on this channel, and actually the author has been a visitor on my channel, and I will link that video down below in case you haven't seen it, and that is Salerna by Anna Schubarth. And Anna is a friend of mine. However, this book is awesome, completely separate from my personal opinions of her. And she's an awesome person in general, but I love this book. So this is a young adult sci-fi fantasy book, and the basic premise is that the world is overpopulated, and they're having groups of people leave Earth and go to other planets to relieve the strain on our planet. And the group that's focused on in this book is a group of Wiccans. And if you're not sure what Wicca is, it's a neo-pagan religion, very earth-based, goddess and god kind of religion. It's a subset of paganism, which I'm pagan, so yeah. And you don't often see good representations of Wicca and paganism in young adult literature, and this is an excellent representation. It's very diverse cast of characters. I am told in the second one there will be asexual characters, which are very rare in young adult literature and, well, literature in general, I guess. But the book follows Jared, who is coming of age, and it's really a coming of age story about Jared. But they get to the planet, and the first time they do a ritual, they realize that the planet is responding to their magic. But Jared is the only person his age who really doesn't have any connection with that. He can't manifest the magic, and so the people who were giving him a hard time before are giving him twice the hard time, and he kind of becomes sort of an exile, and it's all about, growing up and bullying and just amazing stuff. So you should definitely check this out. Oh, and by the way, in this book is one of the most adorable creatures ever created in all of fantasy literature, if you want my opinion on the matter, and apparently you might since you're hanging around my channel. So yeah, check this out. The second book that I'm going to talk about, I won a copy of this on Goodreads a couple of years ago. I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and that's The God of Lost Dreams by Will Griffith. And I honestly didn't know it was self-published until I'd already read it and just happened to glance at the copyright page, and it's pretty easy to tell because there's not this, the publishing information up here, it's just his copyright here. And it's been quite a while since I've read this, and although I really loved it, I'm gonna read the synopsis online just to give you a better idea of what this book is about. A knock at the door, 3 days go by, a flash of light, you were never born. That's how it ends for changelings, men and women born with the gift of magic in a world that cannot believe they are real. And this is how it will end for Michael. I'm going to skip down a little bit. Changelings are the victims of a spell, one that denies their existence so strongly they are pushed out of this world and into another, a mirror place called Sebastopol. Last night, Sebastopol pushed back. 5 dark wizards who rule the mirror world have arrived, and they want Michael. It's up to Michael to learn their intentions as he learns to control the magic rising inside of him, a power that can level cities, raise the dead, and erase history. The chase will take him around the world, through history, and into the mind of God. He will learn what builds families. Sorry, my computer slept. What builds families can build worlds, that power must be given, and that there is no such thing as alone. In 3 days, Michael Blake will never have existed, just enough time to save the world. Does that not sound epic? Well, it is. It's amazing. It's epic. I've actually talked to the author on Goodreads. He's a really cool guy. I asked him if he was planning on writing a sequel to this, and he said not exactly at this moment, which kind of made me sad because I would have loved to have seen more in this world. However, it is a good standalone. It's not that it leaves you on a cliffhanger or anything like that. So if you're one of those people who don't like cliffhangers, this book is okay. It's fantasy. It's great, but you won't be left completely hanging. You'll just wish there was more because it's such an awesome book. So the next thing I want to talk about is Strange Things and Hamsters by Brad Proctor. I think it was Brad. Hang on. This is one that I no longer have a copy of, so I've got it pulled up on my computer. Yes, Brad Proctor. And this one I found... The little town I lived in did not used to have a bookstore, and this woman opened a used bookstore, and I just happened upon it in there, and I'm so glad I did, because it was one of the weirdest and most awesome books I've ever read, to the point that, I mean, it came out in 2004, and I read it then, so it's been 11 years, and I haven't had a copy of it. I've only read it once. I don't have a copy of it anymore. And to the point that it has stuck in my mind. I loved it that much. So I'll read you this description as well, because honestly, it's been a while. When Warren, Clyde, and Daniel arrive in Carla Brook, they detected something very odd. It was the fact that people didn't seem particularly alarmed, as they might normally be, when a 4-foot mouse, hamster, and Ornitholestes, a dinosaur, arrive in their universe by way of a sudden explosion. Of their home universe, they have but one memory: the pyromaniacal iguana that blew them through the dimensional portal in the first place. They meet 2 women: Tanya, the sweet high school student who rescues Clyde from the school's biology class, and Sherry, who may or may not be attempting to kill Warren. Together with the women, they set out on a search for the iguana, hoping that will help them find the portal, not knowing that in their own universe, Earl the Wonder Frog was trying to rescue them, not knowing that in this universe, the Dimensional Welding Service was already on its way to close the portal forever. So another book that is just, the description is epic, it matches the book. You should go check it out. I think that one is a little harder to find. I'm going to do my best to find links, which most of them are pretty easy. I'm going to do my best to put links in the description box directly to where you can buy these. If they have a link in WorldCat, which is a library database, I'll put them there. That way you can check and see if your local library has them. But these are self-published, so you are usually directly supporting the author without too much in between. So if you can and want to, definitely go buy these. The next book I'm going to talk about is only on this list because it started out as a self-published book, and that is Invisible Life by Elin Harris. And if you've watched my channel before, you will know that this is the very first LGBT book I ever read. And it's obviously been released. This copy is released from Anchor Books. However, this was self-published prior to this. I read an article multiple years ago about it, and he used to sell it himself, going to hair salons and different, bookstores, different places, trying to sell his book until it actually got picked up. And then he went on to write tons and tons of books. And this is, Elin Harris is an African-American author. He's gay, or he was gay. He sadly passed away several years ago, and I'll actually link the blog post I did about his passing below as well. And almost all of his books are, as far as I know, all of them actually, are about bisexual men. Some of them are about African-American bisexual men on the down low, meaning that they don't tell people they're bisexual. They just have relationships with men, on the sly. And this is just the very first LGBT book I've ever read, and I love it. I will be 100% honest, it's not the best book in the entire world. However, I really love Elin Harris's writing, and I love his characterizations. So if you love contemporary adult, this is your bag, okay? Definitely check this out. I really love it. I haven't read all of his stuff, and I really want to get his memoir, but this book is what partially saved me senior year, so I will always support this book. And this is also proof that self-published books make it out into the mainstream as well. So proof that self-published does not equal crappy quality. Okay, the next book I want to talk about, I also don't have physical copies of, although I do have them on Kindle. And if you've been here a while, you will know I do not like ebooks. It's not that I have some moral hatred of them. I just don't particularly care for them. I much prefer reading a physical book. I have trouble reading on screens, even Kindles, for a long period of time. So paper books are really a much better option for me. However, one day, few years ago. We were super broke, and yes, I was going to the library too. However, I had been to the library, had gotten some books, and I was looking around on the Kindle trying to find maybe some cool free books, and I stumbled on one called Bob Moore, No Hero by Tom Andry, and it was so cool. So I'm going to read you the short description of the first book. Superpowered humans started appearing 30 years ago. Now they're everywhere. Bob Moore, Private Eye, dares to investigate those who could incinerate him with a thought. When he is called to help a super from his past, however, he'll be pushed to his limit. When supers and the police think there is no crime, can he get to the truth? So, as you can kind of tell, it's like a Private Eye, you know, hard-shelled Private Eye kind of book. And it's really cool. Like, there's all these superheroes and there's all these super villains. And it's really funny, actually. The books are hilarious. And they're awesome. But there's 3 books. There's Bob Moore, No Hero, which is the very first one. And if I remember correctly, it is free on Kindle right now. You can get that one in paperback. I'm not sure you can get the other 2 in paperback, though. But I know you can still get them all on Kindle. I think they even had a bundle of the 3 for $8. Which is not that bad, considering it's 3 novels. But the first one is free on Kindle right now. So if you do Kindle, or you have the Kindle app on your computer, you could ostensibly read that one for free and check out if you'd like it and buy the other 2. But the second book is Bob Moore, Desperate Times, and the third is Bob Moore, Hostile Territory. And this is another author that I've contacted online and asked him about, you know, whether he was going to write another one. And I think there was talk of him doing another one for a while, but I haven't heard anything in a while, so I don't know if he's actually going to do one or not. But they're really cool. The universe is really neat that he's written, and yeah, I would definitely suggest those. And the last thing I'm going to suggest is a zine. So also, if you've been here a while, you know that I'm a librarian. I have a master's in librarianship, and I'm not working at a library right now, but I'm getting my PhD in library and information studies. And I don't even remember how I found this. I think I was on Etsy looking for librarian-related jewelry, and I stumbled across this, Twofisted Librarians, and it's this zine of short stories about different things involving librarians. So it's like these noir stories, you know, some of them I think are steampunkish, there's monster kind of details, but the covers are these old comic style. There's 4 out. I have 3. I ordered the 4th one, but this is the cover of the first one. It says jolting tales of tension in the tradition, and then this one is the second one, with the awesome drawing there. And then the third one has this on the front. It says, hand over those 2 other books. When I read these 3 novels, I'll be able to conquer the world. So yeah, these just old comic covers. And then like I said, I don't have the 4th one, but they are available. They're all available on the Etsy store, which I will link below. They're created by MLIS students in Canada, and they were actually at ALA last year. When I couldn't go, and before the new one was actually out or not the new one, but when the 3rd one wasn't in the Etsy store yet, they had the 3rd one in like black and white copies, and a friend of mine went and brought me one back before the new ones were actually on the Etsy store. But I also did buy it just because I like supporting them, and I really want them to continue to do these. I would love to think of something to write for them because they accept submissions. So for all of you out there who are librarians, or who love libraries, or who love librarians and have somebody you might want to get something kind of interesting and unique for Christmas or whatever holiday you happen to celebrate, I think they're about, well, let's see, I can't remember what their Canadian listing is, but I think with shipping from me to Florida, it was about $5 to order an individual. And I think they probably have packs of them, but since I already have them, I haven't looked at that. But the Etsy store will be below, and you can definitely check them out. And every time I've gotten one, I will get something really cool with it, like a cute postcard, or I got trading cards once. Yeah, I got a Space Stories trading card, which I love this, and I would love to have this entire set of whatever this is, but they always send these cute little things with it, and the envelopes are always decorated. The one that I kept has got stickers all over the back, you know, just things like that, and they're just really fun. So again, if you like libraries, you like librarians, you are a librarian, or you have a librarian that you love, you want to find a unique gift door, this might be it. And if you're a librarian whose library has maybe a zine collection or something like that, this one might not be a bad one to add, even if only for, you could call it professional development, I guess. So yeah, but check these out. They're interesting, even if you don't know anything about libraries, you don't like libraries a whole lot. Some of the jokes may go over your head, but they're still funny. And that is all the ones I had for you. There are tons more, I'm sure, that I haven't read or that I read and can't remember, that were just as amazing. So I definitely encourage you to go out and check out some self-published books, zines, anything like that. And I hope you guys are having an awesome week, and I'll see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 12.